Okay, so what is going on, creatives? Welcome to my weekly design training where I share design tips with creatives. I'm sure you guys are going to learn so much from this video. Okay, so I have this design I received during the week from a designer. I'm going to share what is working and what is not working in the design. All right, so without any further ado, let's start. So this is the design that we received during the week from one of the Ceasar Empowerment Foundation Telegram member. So if you want your design to feature in any of our upcoming trainings, you need to be a member of the Ceasar Empowerment Telegram group, which I'm going to drop the link in the description section of this video. So what you need to do is to send your design to any of the admin aside from Ceasar Graphix. Okay. When you do that, my team will get in touch with you and let you know when your design is going to feature in our upcoming training. Okay. All right. So let's go straight to business. This project here, I'm going to start with what is working here. Now, I like the fact that we can easily see the title here, and I like the contrast between the title and the background. And another thing I love here is the part of the making it easy for us to see the speakers here. All right, and yeah, then aside from this, all right, this project here is dull, and I'm going to tell you why the project is dull. You see, the use of not using color correctly can affect the success of your design. All right. Now here, the color this designer used in this project here, they are color that can work well together. But the part of not playing with the value is what I noticed that this designer did not do well here, because where using color is concerned, there's also the part of contrast, which is playing with light and dark. All right. And that simply means the value. And that is what this designer did not, play well in this project here that affected the projects. All right. Because you're not playing with value correctly in your project is what mostly make your design project look dull. And the other thing I noticed that did not really fly here is the not putting together the element right, because you see, design elements are like building blocks. All right, they are what we use to create visual communication. So when you are not putting them correctly, it's like when you are creating confusion in your project. Okay, now what I'm saying is here because of all these effects we have in the background here. All right, all this light effect here, they are not serving any purpose. So I don't expect to see them. All right. Yeah, they're not serving any purpose. And also all these monuments here, these pillars here are not, they are not necessary. Okay. The goal is not to make people think you did something. The goal is for you to tell a story and communicate what the projects need to do to the viewers. All right. And and also the warm color, which is the red color we have in this background here, is too heavy. It's too heavy and it's making the project look somehow. And then the other thing is this black color we have here that is looking too big here with this frame. All right. Every element you use in your project have what they need to do. And that's why you don't just use the design element without not understanding how to use them. Okay, so this is not, really okay here. All right, and also the columns here. You see this space you have between this columns here is too wide. All right, it's too wide. This is too big. It's too much. Okay, and when you walk this way, you are going to make it look like something is missing, something that you're supposed to add something there that you did not remember to add. So walking this way can affect your project and also the way you did this. All right. These people are supposed to be close to each other because they are the speakers. So the way you now added this huge space between them here is not okay. And these are the things that mostly affect our design project. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go straight to the redesigned version of this artwork. But before I get to the redesigned version of this artwork, let's break down what inspired the illustration I use in the project in my version. Why? Because you notice that the designer used a lamp here. All right, the designer used a lamp here, and that's why, as a designer, you need to understand the problem you're asked to solve before you get the illustration to use. I know the designer decided to get this lamp image because we have the word lamp here. There are times when you see a word among your title that the word is not actually the illustration to use for the project, and that's part of what affected the the success of this project where telling story the right way is concerned. All right, so let's go straight to the breaking down of this project. So before I started creating my version, I used what we have here. All right, this information here to get the right illustration to use. So I went to look for the Bible, these two Bible passages here. All right, but what actually inspired the layout is what actually inspired the illustration, is this particular one here. All right, is this particular Bible passage that inspired the illustration I use. Now, you can also draw inspiration from this. All right, but because I want to quickly help people to understand what the message is actually talking about, I decided to use this. Now, see guys, the fact that I'm doing this does not mean this is the only solution to making this look better. All right, every design project you work on is your world. All right, you have the right to decide what you believe is best for the project. Do you understand? So what I think is best for the project is what I use. But if I'm to do different versions, like I'm working on this project for a client, I'm going to use both what I got from this and this to create options that I'm going to send to the client. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get the right illustration for any church flyer you are asked to work on. All right, good. All right, so I went online and searched for John 13:12-17. And one of my secrets were using the right Bible passage that help break down knowing the right illustration to use for design project is the use of the NIV Bible, the NIV version. All right, if you are looking for a Bible passage a version of the Bible that can help you know the right illustration to use or help you break down the message behind every Bible passage, try use NIV. And there are times where NIV is not going to give you it's not going to break it down easily for you. That is when you now need to go check other versions. All right, try work on checking other versions to help wake up that knowing the right illustration to use in your project. But the version of Bible I always use is NIV. So I already put a screenshot of the Bible passage here, and I'm going to quickly read what's in the passage that I searched for. So I'm reading from verse 12 here now. It says, when he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I have done for you? He asked them. That's Jesus Christ asking his disciple here now. Then 13 said, you called me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, all right, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. So if you look at what this Bible passage is saying here, and you connect it to what the title of this artwork is saying, all right, you understand that Jesus is actually teaching his disciple how to be a leader. And for you to be a leader, one of the examples of a leader is to serve. And that's what Jesus Christ is trying to explain to his disciple here. You are supposed to serve. You're supposed to serve people. I'm sorry, it's sounding more like I'm preaching. Do I have a witness? I'm sounding more like a preacher, right? All right, so yeah, so that's what Jesus Christ is trying to teach his disciple here. Now, looking at this Bible passage here, I want to know the smartest person here. With this Bible passage here, what type of illustration do you think is best for this artwork using this Bible passage that I have here on my screen? Now, if you know it, kindly drop a message in the chat box or in the comment box. All right, I want to know the people who are very good at thinking fast here. All right, but I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that to slow us down. Okay, but if you know it, please drop a message. Okay, yeah. But let me, while we're waiting for you, if I don't let me wait for you guys should just think, and I'm going to show you guys how I was able to get the right illustration here. So if you look at this Bible passage here, we have, let me put this as multiply. All right. So Jesus Christ mentioned that, excuse me, I'm trying to use a more, yeah. So if you look at this side of the scripture, we have this washing their feet here. And then when you go again, there's another part where it talks about washing feet, which is here. Washed your feet here. All right. And then we have wash one another's feet here. So it means if you really want to be a good leader, there's a part of serving people. That's actually one of the qualities of a leader. All right. So the illustration that connects with what this artwork is talking about here is getting a picture of someone washing another person's feet. All right. So this is what inspired the illustration I'm going to use here. Now you see that this is far from using a lamp. And the idea behind the lamp, all right, I'm sure the idea behind this lamp here is if you are a lamp leader, all right, it means you can actually lead any person, because lamb, they are stubborn. So if you can take all the mess from lamb, you should be able to lead people. And if you check it, the shepherd is always after taking care of the lamb. So it's also part of serving. So it's not the lamb you're actually supposed to put here. If you're going to use any illustration, it should be a shepherd and not the lamb, because we're talking about the lamb leader. So the leader, the shepherd is actually the leader, not the lamb. But the reason why they use the word lamb is a leader serves the lamb. A leader takes care of the lamb. All right. So the shepherd is what you should look for, and not the picture of a lamb. I hope that this is clear. If my explanation is easy for you to understand, kindly drop a message and let me know. All right. So this is the illustration that I downloaded from the internet, and I believe you guys agree with me that this illustration is very, very okay. In fact, it's perfect for that Bible passage. If I make the picture too big on the in my project, it's going to be difficult for me to add other elements to the project. So I decided to make the size of the picture smaller and fade, the frame of the picture to make it look like the background blend with the with the image. And I downloaded this beautiful looking image from the internet. I'm talking of this gradient effect image. And the idea behind using this color in the project is to depict energy and depict energy and friendly. All right. If you want to depict calmness in your project, colors that are under the cool colors are the colors that you can use, for that. And then on the part of using the font for the project, I know this is a project for young people, because if you check the information, it talks about there's a part where we have youth in the project. So I decided to use a displayed character and play with the character using the different style that we have under that particular character to create fun. Because if you really want to capture the attention of young people, one of the ways you can capture their attention with design is to make your project playful. And that's the reason why I decided to play with the title the way you're looking at it on your screen. Now, the making this balance took me time. Why? Because I'm trying as much as possible not to affect the making the title visible to the viewers. And that's the reason why you notice that I'm changing the different style to see which one can balance in the title. So I hope you guys get the part of why I decided to use the the character that I use there now. Now, the part of placing the title below the illustration is because I know that if I place the title on the illustration, it's going to be difficult for people to see the beauty of that illustration. So I decided to place the title below it in order to make the title and the illustration visible. Now, the placing of the image, what actually inspired the placing of the image is still because I don't want anything to cover that illustration. And that's why you notice I placed the speakers, I placed them beside the title and not make them overlap on the illustration, because like I said, I'm trying as much as possible not to affect the covering of the illustration, because the illustration is what really tells the people the meaning of what the title is talking about. All right. Yeah. So I faded the guest speakers because I can't place the image the way we have them cropped, because if we place the image without fading them to the background, it's going to make it look like you just did copy and paste. So the blending of the guest speaker's image to the background is to create this connection, like unity, to make it look like, yes, this project, every element in the project, they all belong together. Now, but that is not the only thing I did to make this look like they belong together. You guys are going to see some other things that I did here that made it look like, yes, everything is actually together in the project, which is another way that I believe you guys can also help making your design project look successful. Okay. Yeah. So the next level of hierarchy in the project here is the next level of hierarchy after the title in the project is the date and time. Now, you can always make anything the next level of hierarchy in the project. Remember, I said the project is your world. You have the right to decide what you want, how you want people to access the information in your project. And that's the reason why I decided to to make the date and time the next level of hierarchy in the project after the title. And for those of you that want to know the fonts that I use in this project, I used Knockout for the title, and I used Marriott Pro for the less important information in the project. All right. Yeah. So now, still, I'm sure you guys noticed that I'm still trying my best to avoid making anything touch the illustration. The reason why I'm repeating this is I'm trying to make you guys understand that your illustration should be visible from afar. It should be so visible that people it draws people's attention, and then look at the other information in the project. All right. So the feature part, all right, I noticed that if I put the feature where we have the title or the date and time, it's going to be difficult for people to see. So I discovered that, yeah, and now decided to do something unexpected by making the feature be on the right side of the frame in a vertical, layout. And trust me, people will surely see it, and it will surely add to the, it already added to the success of the project. Not it will. I'm sure you guys agree with me that it added to the success of the project. And the other thing I did here, which you guys, it's possible you guys may not notice it, is the making sure that every of my elements align, every of my content, they all align, to each other. All right. And that's another thing you need to learn to do. Don't just place your content like you don't care, or you just want to place them there. No, make sure everything is holding on to the other thing in your project. Now, I decided to color grade the image because I really want to create unity on the image part. So the guy with the pink suits, all right, the guy with the orange suits, excuse me, is the source, is the color on that character's body that I used to achieve the color that I applied to the other two characters above him. And the reason why the color on the guy below, the reason why the color on his outfits or the color on him is perfect for the project is because if you check his outfit and the color we have on the illustration, you will find out that the colors, they look alike. They look like, they look the same. So I decided to continue with that flow of applying the same color to the other, character in the project. Now, some of you may be wondering, Ceasar, why did you decide not to make the illustration visible? Beautiful. The reason why I decided not to make the illustration too visible is because there are so many activities that we have in that image that if I make the image visible, it's going to be difficult for people to read the information in the project. So I decided to use a monochrome color effect on it to reduce the visibility of the too many contents we have or activities going on in the image, and make focus go straight to just only the message, which is the cleaning of the leg in the in the image. All right, so here I added the names, and then I really want people to see the date and time because, like I said, is the next level of hierarchy in the project after the title. So I decided to draw a shape. Now watch the type of shape I drew behind the date and time. You'll notice that the same shape is what we have where we have the money. All right, so I repeated the same shape to achieve reading. It's the repeating of the same element in another style. The image that I use on the illustration and my background is still the same image that I clipped inside the title. And the reason why I decided to work this way is because I really want to make it look like the elements, they belong together. All right, the elements in the project belong together, and that's the idea behind using the same color or the same image in the title. I hope you guys learn something from this short video, and if you do, please drop a message and let me know. If you know anyone that wants to learn design, kindly share this video with them so they can also learn from this tutorial. If you have anything you want to share with me, drop it in the comment section of this video. I'll see you guys again next week. Peace.